But I had to adjust my camera angle for it tonight. So we're going to be talking about watch winders. And so just sort of for me to place everything here for you guys to see, I did angle everything down a little bit further for this live stream. So it's going to be a little bit different. You're really going to see me from the chin down because you're going to be seeing a watch storage device, and then also you're going to be seeing 4 different watch winders here tonight. And so watch winders are really important because for those out there who have automatics, mechanical automatics, anything with that rotor on the back, that will help out and keep that watch wound up if you're not going to be wearing it every single day. So, and this company, Mainspring, has been around since 2014, and they have some really cool products. They even partnered up with Nubeo on a particular watch winder that we have tonight. Now, here's the thing, too, is I got to get through some of the housekeeping items, but send me an email at Invicta Collectors, that's plural, invictacollectors@gmail.com. If you do that, I will then send you, just say, Ryan, send me that info. I'm going to send you info on a specific website that will actually tell you different movement calibers and whether it goes clockwise, counterclockwise to wind up the watch, bidirectional, how many TPDs or turns per day. So all these watches will suffice. They both go either direction or one direction, a different direction, or both directions. So yeah, and just a variety of different styles that go along with the watch winders. So it's going to be a cool live stream, something totally different. And so, like I said, I have a different setup. You're just going to be really seeing me from here on down. So let me just go through a couple things really quick. We have the coupon code tonight. The coupon code is going to be on items $99 or more, which everything qualifies for tonight in terms of it. And the coupon code is May WED for Wednesday 20. So $99 or more in your cart, you check out, you will save 20%. So be sure to follow Shop HQ also on, this little gray hair is bothering me right here. I can't get it. There. All right, that's better. Follow Shop HQ on all their social media platforms. That's Shop HQ on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. Sign up for their text alerts and email alerts out there because you want to find out when prices are dropping, new arrivals have come, whatever happens go on. And there are different things hitting all the time on Shop. So be sure to check out the other categories too. Just not only watches on shophq.com. Outside of that, also follow them on TikTok. That is Shop HQ Official. And I will actually be on TikTok. That will be tomorrow night. Let me just double check the time. Tomorrow night is going to be, let's see, 7:30 Eastern. So 7:30 Eastern, I think for about an hour and a half. And then, so that's Shop HQ Official. Speaking of social media, give me a follow. That's the Ryan Code on Instagram and also on TikTok. And then it's Invicta Ryan on Facebook. I think that's it. So write down Maywed 20. Let's talk about, first of all, we're going to talk about a watch. We're going to talk about a watch travel case because you don't want to throw your watches in a briefcase, in a bag, in a backpack without some sort of protection if you're traveling. Whether it's even going to the gym, going to work, you're going to do a midday switch out or something, you're going to be not at home. It's a fantastic way to be able to do that. And so let's get into it here. And this is a company called Mainspring. So I'm going to just pop on up here. You're just going to probably see me from the neck down just because it's going to be easier for me and a better view for you with everything. So here we go with Mainspring. As I mentioned before, Mainspring is a company that's been around since 2014. And so what they do is they specialize in watch storage and also with the watch winding for automatic movements out there. So what we have, this particular item is going to be called, it's Mainsprings. It's the Arsenal Esagano. It's a 3-watch roll here for 3 slots. So there are 3 different color choices. There is let's see, there's going to be 3 colors. So there's a black blue, which is a black exterior, and a navy interior. This is the navy exterior. There is a green khaki, which is more of an olive exterior, and then a dark khaki, sort of slight orangish interior. And then there's finally the blue gray, which is what I have with the navy exterior. And then also then, because there are 4 different snaps, you'll see a gray interior. And so you've probably seen the watch rolls before, and they're actually, I have one right here that a lot of people signed at one of the events I went to. I had everybody sign my watch roll and see how it's round, and it's got a little right down here, flat, so it just doesn't roll around. Well, this is actually hexagonal. So 6 different sides is what you get. I mean, really sturdy. Look at the stitching that goes along. Right along here, there's even some extra little padding in between just to push on the watches a little bit more. And then you'll have 3 watches on the inside that you can fit up to. And what's cool about this, I haven't seen before, is that they're actually done in slots. So look at this. You can just simply take this out and then everything just falls in nice and, if I can do it here from upside down, just really nice and easily. So I have a 47 millimeter Grand Diver right now. And you can check that watch out too on Shop HQ's website. There are a couple different color options. So this is that 47 millimeter with the gray or with the luminescent markers on the inside, the NH35A. But yeah, you'll be able to see here the pillow. So the pillow is just shaped quite differently than what you typically find. Here are the little notches that slide in to those little cavities on each side. So it makes it really easy to be able to put the watch in like that. And then it's not going to move around either. I really like that security method. So as you'll see right here, then there's a little bit of a give where everything stops for the bracelet or the strap to go through. And again, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I'll put these all back in. And there we go. I'll wrap it around here. Now we're talking about some of the dimensions. And the dimensions on this, it's about 8.5 inches wide. We're looking at about 3 3/4 of an inch. That's going from the widest part here. And then if you're going just from flat to flat, you're looking at about 3 1/4 inches. As I mentioned, it'll hold up to 3 watches. And then in terms of watch sizes, now I did measure it a little bit earlier. If you go in between here, the stations, and this is how I can use the caliper, you use it like this to measure a watch. Here, I'll show you like this. So this should be right around 47 millimeters if I can get right on it. Right around 47 millimeters. What does that say? Oh, sorry, I'm in inches right now. Yeah, about 47 millimeters. Now the thing is, if I turn this caliper upside down right here, this will measure the space in between. So we're talking about including the crown about 55 millimeters. So anything larger, it's really, it would push out a little bit. But then overall profile, I would say about 19 millimeters, 20 millimeters. This Grand Diver is, what are we looking at? Oops, hold on, I missed it. We're looking right now at about 18 millimeters. So let me just see how far up everything goes. So as I mentioned before, you can travel with this. You can go to the gym with it. You can, wherever you happen to go, throw it in that duffel bag, that backpack, that briefcase, up to 3 different watches. Now, you'll see this Grand Diver. It's starting to get pretty close over here in terms of just what it's going to hit. I mean, if you can get the watch, I would say about 20 millimeters. Otherwise, then when you shut everything, it's going to billow out just a little bit. But you'll see there are 4 different snaps. So everything will be nice and secure in terms of this. And there are other methods out there. You just get this all lined up. There we go. Very secure. So you'll see just perfectly hexagonal out there. So 55 millimeters, but then I wouldn't say any more than 19, 20 millimeters in the overall case profile here for the watch. So I really like this. Let me see some of the comments here. I'm going to look over at something else. Let's see here. In terms, oh shoot, I don't know if that'll work. Okay, let me just look at some of the comments. Godfather is here. Thank you, Godfather, for being here. Christopher White, Phil, Rick, and Lisa from Kentucky. Let the shenanigans begin. Yeah, that's the thing is I might not have to use the cone tonight. You guys might be disappointed. Harry is here. He's monitoring everybody, so give some hearts to Harry. And then we also have Felix is here. What up, Rick and Phil and Lisa? Wait, let's see, who else? Godfather, Phil, Rick and Lisa, Shop HQ. Okay, you guys. Oh, Charles. I'm excited to learn about these winders. Yeah, very cool, Charles. Good. Christopher White, can we see your watch, Ryan? You can, Christopher. It's It's one, or I have, I think, 4 or 5 of these, but it's not for sale. They're not manufactured anymore. So there's a watch right here. It's a Value 7750 on this. And I think this one is number 2 of 1,000. There you go. So yeah, I just decided to wear one of my personal watches here tonight. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Charles. Yeah, thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Let's see who else. Wow, a lot of comments. Hey, Watch Junkie, I knew you'd be here. Phil, up to what size does this take? As I mentioned, 55 millimeters by about 19 millimeters in the profile. Yeah, Felix said hi to Charles already. Yeah, the pillows stay stationary. I like that. Christine is here too. Hello, Christine. And all right, wow, you guys are really chatting it up. Okay, I'm going to move on here because I'm going to get to the first watch winder of the show. So I'm going to close this up and bring it over. And so just first, so I have a total of 4 watch winders. The first watch winder is actually going to be the only dual watch winder, meaning that there are 2 of them. So let me just get everything organized. And here we go. So sorry about the reflection, but that's just how we're going to have to roll. So, all right, what we have here is we have the Oxford Guardian. Choice of, oh, you know what? I didn't talk about the price on the watch storage box on the mainspring Arsenal Esagano. So regular price, that's $90. If you can get your card up another $9 there, brings it down to $72. So that was it with the watch storage with this item right here. $90, but if you can get something else on there, it'll go down to $72 with that 20% off with Maywed 20. Okay, next item. So this is the first watch winder of the night. And so we're looking at the mainspring at the Oxford Guardian. Their choice of color. There's a 2-slot watch winder here. And so what you're getting into is 2 different color choices. There's the red and blue, which this one actually is. So it's a red exterior that has some blue highlights on the inside. And then there's an orange. There's an orange and the black exterior, orange interior. And then, oh, this one is the red, excuse me. Red is here. Red outside. We need to go through that one more time. Red outside, black inside. That's red. Blue is going to be a black exterior, but then blue on the inside. And there's an orange, which is also black exterior with the blue on the inside. So as I mentioned before, watch winders are great because what that will do is it'll actually then keep your watch wound up automatically for you. And so you don't have to, because they're mechanical automatics like what this watch is. So I can actually wind this watch up via the crown, but then as I wear it, that rotor will turn on the back of the watch. And that's another way for the watch to actually stay wound up. Now there are also automatics, which don't have that mechanical component. So you can't wind it up via the crown. And so that's where watch winders really come in handy, but you can use them with mechanical automatics too, just as many of you do already. So here we go with the Oxford Guardian. And so regular price in this is $190. It's with the Maywed 20 brings this from $190 down to $152. Okay. And so I'll go through some of the different dimensions here. So first of all, we're looking at 9.5 inches wide, 6.5 inches deep, and then we're looking at about 6 3/4 inches, just under 7 inches in terms of the overall height that goes along with this. So what I like first of all is it's made up of that medium density fiberboard, and then there's like a vinyl PVC lining. It almost feels like it's wood. I mean, just so nicely done. And there are 2 hinges off here to the left-hand side. And then you just simply open up right here. I'm just going to do it real carefully. And look at that. Everything opens up. Now you'll see you have 2 different pillows. I have the Grand Diver inside for one side, and then nothing on the other. And there are 2 different dials here that are going to you can do different things, and I'll tell you what those actually are. So the rotation direction on this will be either clockwise or counterclockwise, and then rotations per day just depends on how much time you're actually running them. And there's also the adapters included. And here's the thing. The adapter, it's pretty cool. So you also have the UK version and the Euro version, and then also the US version for the different adapters. And that goes for all the different watch winders, which is cool. So if you're traveling, you want to bring them with, but then some of these also have batteries that go along with them too. So in terms of this, so we have different modes that go along. There are 5 different modes. So when we talk about the first mode right here, that's just going to be the off switch. If you turn it then one click, and just go here, turn it one click, let me just get this, 1 second. There we go. You can see the accent lighting too that I just turned on. So you both get highlighted right here with the lights, which is really cool because you can see that when the door is shut, when the door is open, you can see those accent lights that go along on the inside. Pretty cool. So now when we're talking about that first mode, this is going to go clockwise for 2 minutes, stop for 6 minutes, and then it'll repeat the cycle. But then if we go to the next mode, let me see here, I'm turning it the right direction. I think the next, let me turn it all the way off. Oops, I think I went out the wrong way. Let me see 1 second. I'm getting everything screwed up with the reverse. Okay, here we go. So everything stopped. So then that's stop mode 1. This will go clockwise. Now we go clockwise or counterclockwise for 2 minutes, stop for 6, and then repeat. And then we'll go right here. This is going to rotate clockwise for 2 minutes, stop for 6 minutes, and they'll go counterclockwise for 2 minutes, stop for 6 minutes, and keep returning. And then the final mode, this will turn clockwise for 5 minutes, then reverse clockwise or counterclockwise for 5 minutes, and then keeps on rotating back and forth. So that'll be a real efficient way to be able to wind up the watch. So you can have one on one mode, you can have the other on a different mode if you choose so, and really, really cool that goes along with it. So I really like this. Here's a way to get 2 watches going at once, and you get a beautiful display. You can watch it right here, even through the clear glass door that goes along with this. So I think this is just a fantastic way to be able to get into a watch winder right here. There are a couple different buttons on the back. One is the power button, and the other then is going to be then that accent lighting here for the back. So you have the power and also the accent lighting. So this is the accent lighting. The red one is the power that goes along. And what's really cool about this is that Mainspring London, they give you this card right here. And so with every watch winder, so all you do is you scan this QR code, and then you can go ahead and you can find the appropriate manual in the PDF format, and then just go through it, and you can learn even more about the watch winders and how to set them up and how to use them and so forth. Yeah, Watch Junkie says really nice winder. I agree. The red nicely pops in the winder, says Invicta Claus. Anthony's here. Good to see you, buddy. Phil is here. Let's see who else. Let's see. Thanks for letting me know. Still working on figuring out TikTok. Oh yeah, we'd love to see you on TikTok, Christine. That'd be great. Okay, God, you guys are chatting it up tonight. Well, you can chat up for another 90 minutes tomorrow on TikTok if you guys want to be a part of that. All right, well, I'm going to keep on continuing on here because I think it's already like almost 20 after. So I have 1, 2, 3 more watch winders to go through. So I'm just going to put this off to the side. And I'm going to go with the second watch winder here of the night. So this one is pretty cool. This is going to be the Astronomy. And the Astronomy is going to be a different watch winder here. So it's pretty different. And let me just get over here quickly to my notes. It sounded like someone was outside. Okay, so now we have the Astronomy. And this is the gyroscope. Now, hold on a second. Oh, I didn't take off the... Give me 1 second. Here we go. Okay, what we're looking at right now is the gyroscope. And this is pretty cool. I mean, look at this. You have a glass that goes over. Place this over here. And then everything gets turned on. Check this out. How cool is this? So this is Mainspring's Astronomy Gyroscope 1-slot watch winder. Regular price is $210. If you use that coupon code MAYWED20, it's going to go down to $168 for this watch winder. Now this is super cool. There's either a silver tone version, which I have, or there is a gold tone version where this will be done in that gold tone color. And look at that. You can just have everything just sit like this and the gyroscope will just go. So it's almost like some sort of like, you know, beautiful, elegant dance the watch is doing here with this. And see how it just rotated? So it will, this winder will actually go, and there are three different rotational settings. And so rotates bidirectional for 2 minutes, then it stops for 4 minutes. And then the cycle starts again after pausing. There's another mode where it'll go bidirectional for 2 minutes and then stops for 10 minutes, or it'll rotate for 2 minutes and then stops for 18 minutes. So that's pretty cool in terms of this. Now, the one thing is, my recommendation on this watch winder is that you want to have some smaller timepieces in, because the watch can actually touch this outer right there. If you have too big of a watch, so maybe like 44, 45, 47 might work, or it might just touch that outer ring there when it's rotating around. But I think this is just magnificent, totally different. I'll bring it up a little closer for you guys so you can watch this for a second, how it just rotates. Look at that. Isn't that neat? And what I have right here is a 40 millimeter Pro Diver here from Invicta. So there are 3 different color choices that go along with this. Now it's stopped. Now it's going to stop. I think it's, I have to double check what mode it's on. But so yeah, 3 different modes that go along with this. Now there's another thing too. Let me just show you. I'm going to turn it off for a second. So what you do is you actually take this out. There are 2 different mechanisms that you can put your watch on, and they're spring loaded, so then you can just easily take it off. Another one is a little bit larger, so the watch just fits on this, and then you just have to line it up and place it within the 2 little holes in there, and that's what holds the watch for you. So it's pretty cool. Now the other thing is underneath, oops, sorry about that. Underneath, you can actually, on this version, oh yeah, that's right. There's actually a battery pack on this one that will take 4 double D batteries if you're going to be remote. So it's probably about, I don't know, about 6 inches long by about 2.5 inches wide by about 1 inch deep, and it takes 4 4D batteries. And so you can use that and hook it up here and have an external power source where you don't have to plug in to the wall if you want to be mobile. So it's a little bit of a bigger box, but still pretty cool. And it's nice that you actually have the option. But here it is again. Let's take a final look. Let me see if there's any other information on this I want to share with you. Yeah, you get the extra prongs that go along with it. Here we go. So different, so clever from mainspring. And I love the name mainspring too, of course. What you're doing is you're winding up the mainspring of these automatics or mechanical automatics there. And that's what holds all the power for the watch to be exerted out through all the different components on the inside. So yeah, pretty fun to be able to see this watch winder. All right. All right, I am going to move on to the next because we have 2 more winders to go through. And remember, just like that, pretty cool stuff. Let me just see if there are any comments here. But you guys are just a bunch of chatterboxes tonight. Let me see. Here we go. No, Charles, I'm saying the largest watch. I mean, I have a 40 millimeter there. I was saying before 43, 44, maybe 46 or 7. It just depends, and it depends too, I think, what your wrist size is, because as I mentioned before, this is all spring loaded. So the mechanism that's going to hold the watch. So if your wrist is smaller, the watch is going to be more compact. But if you have a larger wrist, it's going to potentially bump into that outer ring potentially. So it just depends. So, for sure you can have the smaller watches go in there, shouldn't be a problem. All right. Let's see what else. Any other comments? Anyone else new on here? All right, you guys are just chatting away. Okay. Cool. All right, thanks, Charles. All right, well, the next watch winder, number 3 of 4, is coming up. And so this one is going to be in partnership with a watch brand that I've really enjoyed presenting here since I've been doing the live streams, and it's Nubeo. And so Mainspring teamed up with Nubeo on this particular item for this single watch winder. And it's called the Astronomy Satellite one slot watch winder. So it has a bit of that orbital sphere yet again here that goes along with it. And you'll see it's almost like that little, like that satellite. And you see on the inside, that's the watch. So you just, it's a form of space-borne device, satellite watch winder, stylish and elegant. So it has an auto-stop feature, but the cool thing too is, now watch this. I'm going to hit, there's a little button on the back. That's what's going to start right here, that little button. And here goes the watch. Okay. And on the inside, this is the Continuum from Nubeo. Sweet timepiece. I wore this out the other night after I presented it, and 2 people came up to me. I just went to go get a bite to eat at a Mexican restaurant. They both love this watch on their wrist. Now watch what happens when I open up the top lid. See that? Isn't that cool? Everything lights up around the inside. So it really highlights the timepiece. And then it will stay on. So then, see that? Open up, turns on, activates the light, and then the light will shut off after a little bit longer, but pretty cool. So one watch, I have the Continuum, and from what I see around the side, there's plenty of room, about 55 millimeters in case size, so that's probably true on that. And let's see, so it will go clockwise for 5 minutes and then stop for 40 minutes and then turn counterclockwise for 5 minutes and then stop for 40 minutes and just keep on circulating like that. So you just open up the cover, it'll stop automatically. You can put the cover back down and it will go again. Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. So, and this version, I believe on the very bottom, yeah, don't worry about this. This is just my inventory marking. So it takes 4, I think it's 4, let me see, I'll open this up. Nope, it's 3 AA batteries, and then you can take this with you, and it doesn't even take up any extra space because it's not an external, just right underneath. So if you want to go mobile with this, you can, and take it with you traveling. You can set it up on that desk or that nightstand or whatever it happens to be, the dresser in the hotel room, and have the watch wind up while you're at the gym or whatever, sleeping at night. Pretty cool. And all these watch winders, they're really quiet too. I like that. All right, let me see if there's any other comments on this particular item. And Watchman is here. Thank you so much. Let's see. Charles Watchman. Yep, Maywed20 is for this. Roy is here. Thank you, Roy, for being a part. Phil, I like the gyro. It also makes it a nice desk accessory. I agree with you on that. Yep, that's great. I like that idea. I love you guys' ideas. So Christopher is here and Victor Claus is here. Yep. All right. Thank you, guys. All right. Well, remember, if you want, I'll send you a website if you send me an email at invictacollectors@gmail.com. invictacollectors@gmail.com. I will send you a website that really tells, probably has most, probably not all, but a lot of them. And about, you can learn about your movements a little bit more, whether you turn them clockwise, counterclockwise, the rotors to wind them up, and how many turns per day you should do on them. So like I said, all of these, they're going to rotate at different speeds. So you can get to those TPDs or turns per day if you just do some simple math. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect or exact along that, just as long as it's winding up, you'll be okay. So, all right, we're going to go on then to the final one, which is really cool. And you know what? I misspoke. There is actually one other watch winder that is going to wind up 2 timepieces, but they'll do it all with the same motor. And so here we go. Let me just get to it really quick. All right, now this is cool. So this watch winder is actually in rotation right now. This is called the Observatory. All right. So look at this right here. There's also glass that goes over, but then once you take the glass off, here we go. You can see right there. This is really neat. Let me just put this glass over. So you can have two different watches that are winding. Now on the inside, I have the Nubeo Megalodon, which is one of my favorite watches. I've been wearing this here for the last couple of days. It's been super cool. You actually get a real Megalodon shark tooth with it. And that coupon code will actually work on this watch also. So encased in glass. Now this is a wood construction watch winder. It protects your watches, it winds your watches, and aesthetically, very, very pleasing for this watch winder. Okay, so then, now the color on this, this is the only color. Now the regular price is $230. If you use that coupon code MAYWED20, your price will go from that $230 down to $184. 184 here then for this watch winder. Two different watches. And so, yeah. Now the thing is with any watch winder, you don't want to take pillows out when the watch winder is actually moving. So you do want to stop the watch winder. And so here's the one pillow. It has a sort of it's foam, but it has a leatherette look that goes along with it. And just easily just fits into this slot that has, it's concave on either side. So it'll just fit in nicely right here. And actually it probably fits in like this too. So two different ways. If you want to have that watch, it's going to be actually really secure. You can actually put it in this way too. So yeah, actually, you know what? I probably had it in incorrectly before. So I bet that is the correct way to do it. And then you should be able to fit even larger watches on this from, here we go. Look at this. There you go. So let me see how this will look. Yep. How neat is that? Now with this is the only color for this watch winder here for the observatory, but two watches you get to wind up at once. And so we have the crystal glass, and then the dimensions on this, you're looking, you're looking at, where did my tape go? Here it is. In terms of height, you're looking at about 9 inches tall, about 6 inches wide that go along with this. So, and you get the see-through cover that's a part of this. You get to just see the directional rotation, and then there's also, you get to see the light on the inside too. You get the accent light that's on the inside. So pretty cool in terms of what you're getting here with this watch winder. So I'm really impressed with this design. It's been fun to see and to see how this all works together. And yeah, so take this off. There's the pillow yet again. And then this one will also take batteries. I'll just show you through the bottom right here. So you have batteries that go underneath here. And it's 2D batteries. They're not included, but you get the adapter and everything else. And then you get the three different buttons on the back. So you're getting the on and off for the LED. The middle is going to be for the winder, and then the red is going to be your on off. So this is your on off, and then you're going to get the on off for the winder, and then your LED. So yeah, that's pretty fun stuff. Is what you're getting with this watch winder. So yeah, really happy to have this, and yeah, just with the watch winder, I think this is probably the most. I don't know, which one do you guys like the best out of all the different versions? I'll go look and see here what you guys have to say. Yeah, looks really clean. Let's see. Wow, out of this world. I like that, Christine. Watchman says, interesting winder, stunning winder. Yeah. Let's see what else. Can't go wrong with the watch winder. Yep, Godfather, I know. Been to Godfather's place a couple of times. I've seen his watch winders. He has multiple, many watches you can use per winder out there. So he likes that too. So it's just something different. I think this is a great show here that was planned out with Mainspring London. Like I said, a company that's been around for 12 years. They have some really cool products. And you get some of these orbitals. I mean, look at this. You get the gyroscope. You get a more of a traditional design. So you get here the observatory. Here is a gyroscope variation. This was really fun to be able to present a little bit earlier. There's another dual which is going to be right here. So you have two different watches that could be wound at the same time. And they also have the accent lights on the inside. A nice door, locking door that just, you can see everything right in here. 3 different color choices. And then the variation that is partnered up with Nubeo. And so once that is actually running, you can lift it up. Look at that. The light comes on, highlights the watch even that much more. And the light will go back down. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Let me see if there are any others. Jay says Captain Kirk's watch winder. I like that. Let's see. Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, be sure to give me a follow on social media. That is the Ryan Code on Instagram and also on X and on TikTok. To follow Shop HQ. Shop HQ is everything. And give your reviews on the items that you purchase. We'd love to see the reviews out there. And then tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Let me just double check. I think it was 7:30. Yep, 7:30 p.m. I will be on for an hour and a half on TikTok. Now, follow Shop HQ on TikTok. That's going to be Shop HQ Official. That's where I will be tomorrow night. And then I also have another show on Friday, and that starts at 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. on Friday. So outside of that, thank you everybody for being here tonight. This is really fun to be a part of. And yeah, get yourself a watch winder, enjoy it. It's almost like mesmerizing and calming to be able to see that. I had all 4 of them at my desk today as I was working here, and all of a sudden one would just start winding on its own, and then another one would over here, and sometimes 2 would be going on at the same time, and it's actually kind of calming. It was pretty cool. So, all right, well, I'm going to head on out. Appreciate each and every one of you being here, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night and then also on Friday morning on TikTok at Shop HQ Official. All right, use that coupon code MAYWED20, and I will see you then tomorrow night. Take care, everybody. Thanks for being a part of the show.